So I come to lighten your load, okay? There's people will come to me and ask questions about like, hey, did you stop listening to secular music when you got saved? Did you drink? Did you smoke? Okay, one thing I will say this, having a checklist is cool. And this is how I know, because I've had people write me and say, well, I don't listen to rap no more. I don't watch certain type of movies no more. I don't do this and I don't do that. That is cool. But you have to understand salvation. It's all about saying yes and receiving, Jesus as your Lord and Savior. That's number one. Basically, it's just saying yes, surrendering. Right now, what God is trying to do through that salvation is build a relationship with you. And what happens with a lot of y'all is y'all get overwhelmed because y'all be trying to quit things cold turkey. Like you're trying to stop drinking cold turkey. You stop trying to smoke or fornicate or listening to this or watching that. You have this checklist. And what happens is you're focusing more on this checklist than you're focusing on your relationship with God. Come on now, catch them diamonds. That's real good. That checklist may hinder you. Some people can quit cold turkey, but a lot of people, when you look into the world, especially when they're trying to quit drugs, they needed some special attention to help them get through that, because you got to realize this has been your way of living for many years. Come on now. You see what I'm saying? So your checklist may end up being your problem, because God just saying, sit down, let's just talk. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Let me show you who I am. I know you already. I formed you. So this is more of an intimate setting with God. And so this is another thing I want you to know. For me personally, I never drank or smoked before I got saved. So that was not a stronghold in my life. You see what I'm saying? At all. Now, when it came to rap music, or secular music, we should say, I didn't necessarily just quit secular music because I was saved. I didn't have a checklist. I just came to God as I was. See, when I showed up every day, it's like a student in class. I showed up every day. And that's when that maturity, that development. See, that relationship is all about development. And it's like a new diet. All I had to do was show up every day. When it came to secular music, I stopped listening to it because at that time in my life, I was going through something that rap music did not help me, get through. Young Jeezy, that was my favorite artist. 50 Cent, I love 50 Cent, had his poster. But what happened is I started to develop as a woman, and just as a person. So a certain things started falling out. Now, let me tell you something. I'm an old soul. I still love me some Al Green. Yes, sir. And that's what I'm saying. Like, some things I just didn't quit doing. It's just some things just broke away. Like that drill music stuff, I really don't care too much for it. So I stopped tuning into music because I started tuning in more to God. That's what happened to me, seriously. You know what I'm saying? I just stopped. I started showing up for my Bible study. I kept my... I kept those moments with God that we had together. I showed up, I was faithful, put it like that. Like if I had Bible study to do, I did that. If I had prayer time to do, I did that. I kept showing up with God. And by me showing up with God, it kind of eliminated other things in my life that I used to do as a teenager. Come on now, that's real good. That's how that happened for me. And it works better that way because, like I say, it's all about development. Not about, I don't do this no more, I don't do that no more, so I'm a Christian. No, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's not just all about saying, oh, I don't drink no more, I don't smoke no more, I don't fornicate no more, so I'm a Christian, I'm legit. Let me tell you why that don't really make a difference. There are people who don't believe in God, atheists. There are atheists who don't drink or smoke. There are atheists who don't watch certain things on TV. There are atheists right now who are not fornicators. You see what I'm saying? So you saying I don't do this and do that has nothing to do with being a Christian. That's a choice that some people making right now, that they ain't even Christian. They don't believe in nothing. So if they say I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm a Christian, does that really make you a Christian? No. Because like I said, there are atheists who don't do things. There are atheists who don't believe in fornication or being with somebody if they're not committed. That's just their way of living. That don't make them a Christian because they're not even a believer. You see what I'm saying? So it's like this checklist for what? It's about the relationship. Come on now. And that's what I'm trying to teach you about, relationship and development. See, in our in our religious practice, that's something we practice as far as Christians, no fornication. But that is something that we're told to, to follow, especially if we want to walk that narrow path. God is like, hey, these are some things that you can do to stay on this narrow path. Here are the things that you can do. But if you're doing all these things and you don't have no relationship, then there goes that whole thing where they called on my name, but I never knew them. There was no relation or fellowship. Come on now, get into it. What happens, like I told you, you putting a lot of strain on yourself by trying to check off this list, because a lot of y'all be stressed out about it. Because I done had people reach out to me. What do you do for this? What about this? What if I, like, here's what I'm going to say this right here. I had a buddy of mine that smoked, right? And they wanted to stop smoking because they felt, convicted by it. And so I'm just like, okay, here's what I'm seeing. I just like, hey, do you want my input? Okay, yeah, okay, cool. I'm saying, this is what I said. You're trying to force it. And that's the reason why you keep finding yourself sneaking off in the cut, smoking. Because you are trying to force something. Let it wear off. Like I say, it's like a diet. Let it wear off. Cut back. Just start cutting back. If you ain't thinking about it today, then don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't just go do it. Like, if you ain't thought about it, or let's just say you smoke 5 times a day. Today, you only smoke 3. Let it just wear off of you. Because I'm telling you, the more you show up with God, the more other things are going to fall off you anyway. And that's genuinely how it happened for me. Just like, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a person, I love horror movies, thriller movies, suspense, and I still do. But what happens is, like I told y'all, the appointments that I had with God, or the quality time, I would like to say, that I had with God, a lot of those things fell off me. Now, I'm still a person that like horror movies and thrillers and suspense. I don't think that side of me going to ever change. It's just the way that I don't consume it as much. And over time, when I was reading my Bible, I just couldn't watch it no more. It just went mixing with my atmosphere because I was changing. My atmosphere was changing. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of things start changing. God will shift the atmosphere. He will shift the atmosphere. When you're in the presence of God, you will notice your atmosphere start shifting. And that's what happened to me. I didn't have to pray and say, Lord, take this away from me. I didn't. I just showed up to the quality time. And here's another thing I'm going to say before I get out of here. It's not always the devil trying to attack you. So let's just use this for an example. Let's just say you stop drinking. And you've been doing pretty good. It's probably been 2 or 3 weeks or a month. I don't know. And all of a sudden you feel like you want to drink. You be like, man, the devil trying to get me. It's just your body way of saying, your flesh way of saying, we used to consume this. Where is that? Your flesh is looking for it. You got to understand, we're born in sin. So the first nature, whether you believe it or not, your first nature is sin, like flesh. This is why we have to be reborn again. After we come out of our mother's womb, we have to be reborn again in Christ. Because now, since we're born in sin, this is our first nature. That's why we go out here and sin, and we're not even aware of it. This is why the Bible says you are dead in it. You're not even aware of it because this is your first nature. So now being reborn again, living like Christ, is the new nature. So sometimes it's really your body, your flesh looking for what you used to feed it. It's not always the devil attacking you. Don't become so religious in your mindset that everything is about the devil, then you actually having common sense and being logical. You know what I'm saying? Use your mind. It's just your body. Just like when you stop eating cheeseburgers and now you eating salads and your body want cheeseburgers and you be like, it's the devil. No, your body's saying, where them cheeseburgers at, man? Because it's the killing of the flesh. You see what I'm saying? Relax. And you also be logical sometimes. I see a lot of people get so spiritually, spooky. Use your mind. Catch them down.